Hi everybody, today we're going to look at how to design functions which return data to a calling program. This strategy allows us to reduce the number of global variables that a computer program might need. And it's just a programming strategy that you might choose to use in your own computer programs. Let's look at today's scenario. A computer program feeds a hungry monkey bananas. And each time it feeds the monkey responds differently, depending on the number of bananas that it gets. And here's a sample program. So let's just jump straight down to our main function here. The first thing we do is display a message. Let's play feed the monkey. Then we jump into a loop. We're going to do something 20 times. What we're going to do is generate a random number and send that random number as a parameter into a function called feedMonkey. So when we call this function, we jump up here to the feedMonkey function. It grabs the data, gives it the name bananas, and then it evaluates the bananas. We've got a local variable here, feeling, and then finally it prints out the value of that local variable. And when that's finished, we jump back into the loop. That's finished, so the loop goes around again, and we do that 20 times. And when that's finished, we get the message, want to play again. In fact, let's copy all this code and paste it into my IDE and see if we can get it working. I've lost all of the indentation. Okay, so in my feedMonkey function, we're going to evaluate that parameter bananas. So let's use tab on the keyboard. That looks pretty good. Oh, we need this as well. In the main function, we display a message, we start a loop, and then we do these two things. And then finally in the main function, but not in the loop, we display want to play again, and then finally we call our main function to get things started. Let's run the module and see if it works. Whoa! Random equals random.randint. Guys, I forgot to import the random module. If I don't import the random module, I can't generate random numbers in Python, okay? So let's just try that one more time. Hey! Okay, so it works. Now let's go back to the scenario. The main program wants to evaluate how many times the monkey says happy. Okay, so one option to allow us to do this is to use a global variable. So we could do this. I'm going to create a global variable called happyCount and give it a starter value. Let's just get rid of that comment because we do need some global variables now. And in the feedMonkey function, every time the feeling is happy, we're going to update a happyCount, that global variable. We're going to add 1 to it. Now, because the feedMonkey function is updating the value of a global variable, we need to tell Python that that's about to happen. So using the global keyword, we just make a list of all the global variables that we'll be processing. And in this example, it's just the happyCount, this global variable here. Okay. Also, our main function, after it's fed the monkey 20 times, is going to display the result of happyCount. So we can do something like that. Happy number of happy times, okay? And this is all happening in the main function. So every time we call the feedMonkey function, if the monkey is happy, we're just going to update that global variable, okay? We're going to do that 20 times. And when that's finished, we're just going to display the final value of happyCount. So again, let's run the program and see if it works as intended. Yay! So this time we fed the monkey 20 times and the monkey was happy 6 times. So that is a pretty good solution to that problem. However, in computer programming, if possible, you want to try and limit how many global variables your program is using. Okay? The more experience you get with programming, the more obvious this will become. If you've got loads and loads of global variables that your program is trying to track, things can get very complicated. Now, this is a very basic example. We only have one global variable, so not a big problem. But let's look at how to rewrite the program without global variables. What I'm going to do is redesign the feedMonkey function. We're going to evaluate, I'm just going to get rid of this because we're not doing this anymore. Just going to get rid of this. Let's go back to our original design. We've got this parameter bananas. We're evaluating it. And we're updating this local variable feeling depending on the evaluation. And then we're printing the result of that. What I also want to do now, though, I'm going to return that data to the calling program. I'm going to return feeling to whoever calls this function. Okay? So if the feeling is happy, we're going to return happy to the calling program. That's what the feedMonkey function is going to do. Now here, in the main program, we're calling the feedMonkey function. And now we know that the feedMonkey function returns some data. So let's create a variable to grab the data. So we call the function, let it do its magic, and when the function finishes down here, it returns something. So I've created a variable here to grab the returned data. Now what I'm going to do is evaluate the result. If the result is happy, I'm going to update happy count. Okay. Now, where is this variable? It was global, but I just deleted all that. Happy count is now a local variable in the main function. And give it a starter value of 0. This is now a local variable in main. So in main, we set up happy count to be 0. 20 times, we generate a random number. We call the feedMonkey function, which does its magic. And the feedMonkey function is now returning some data, which we're grabbing. We can then evaluate that data. And in this example, we're updating a local variable. Okay? We have completely eliminated the need for global variables. Now let's run the program and see if it works as intended. Yes, it works! And incredibly, the monkey was happy 0 times.